Welcome to another ChoPhoto instructional video. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use presets in Adobe Photoshop Camera Raw. I've selected a picture of my good friend Beth here to demonstrate how useful presets can be. First I'm going to show you how to create them. So I'm going to go ahead and get her picture opened up in Camera Raw here. And the first thing I'm going to do is, since I'm going to be making a set of black and white filters today, is fully desaturate the image. So now I have a black and white image of Beth, neutral black and white. So I'm going to go up to the menu here and choose Save Settings. And I'm going to select Saturation and Split Toning. I realize I haven't made a split toning change yet, but trust me, if we want it to be neutral black and white, we want to make sure this one's selected also. I'm going to go ahead and hit Save, and I'm going to name it Black and White. And I'm going to call this one Neutral. The next thing I'm going to do is I am going to go to my split toning menu. It's important to know that even though there is no color information in this image right now, if you were to say take it to a chemical lab like Walgreens, Walmart, Sam's Club, or even a professional lab like here in Flagstaff, we've got a couple of those. They're going to do chemistry prints for you, but they're going to be doing chemistry prints on color paper. And if you try to do a black and white print on color paper, it will typically turn kind of green on you, which is not very attractive. So the first toning I'm going to do is going to be a sepia tone. So on the split tone menu, I'm going to set the highlight hue to 38, and I'm going to set the shadow hue to 38. And next I'm going to set the saturation on the highlights to 20, and on the shadows to 40. And I also like to set my balance to be -15, so it pushes it even a little bit more towards the midtones and shadows. So now, obviously, I have a sepia toned black and white, albeit a little bit mild sepia tone, but that is how I like them. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to hit Save Settings, and I'm again going to select Split Toning and check the saturation box. And I'm going to hit Save, and this one I'm going to name Black and White Sepia Tone. So the reason why I checked the split toning box on the first one, even though I hadn't made any changes to it, is so that when I go to apply preset, now if I choose neutral, it will take the toning away if it had been toned already. And if I go to sepia, obviously I'm back to sepia. Next, if you did just want to say do a warm tone black and white, not something not quite as strong as a sepia, you would just knock that saturation down to about 10 on both the highlights and the shadows and set your balance back to 0, which is even. So now we do have a slightly warm tone black and white. It should be just enough to stop a color print from going to one direction or the other. And I am going to go ahead and hit Save Settings again. And now I'm going to choose Split Tone and Saturation again. And now I'm going to name this one Black and White Warm Tone. And then lastly, what if you want to do a cool tone image? Well, you can do that too. We're going to go ahead and change the hue to 256, just because that's a nice cool tone. Obviously, you can kind of go through the cool tones and find the one that's exactly what you're looking for. We're still going to leave the saturation set to 10 and 10, and a neutral balance. We'll go up and hit Save Settings one last time, and we're going to choose Split Tone and Saturation and hit Save. And this one will be named Black and White Cool Tone. So what if you create all these filters, you do this to all of your images in a folder, and you want to set them back to being color? Well, we can create a preset for that too. I normally like to call that my reset preset. So I'm going to go ahead and set all of my hues and saturations back down to 0. And I'm going to go back to the main control menu and set my saturation to 0 as well. Next, I'm going to go up to my menu again, and I'm going to hit Save Settings. So I've basically just zeroed out all of my split toning and my saturation. So I'm going to tell it I want to save my split toning and my saturation, which I know are zeroed out. And I'm just going to save it as Black and White Reset. So now I have a option to reset any changes I made using those filters. So to show you how useful these can be, I'm going to go ahead and exit Camera Raw and go back into Bridge. and I'm going to open up a selection of images I did of Beth that day in Camera Raw. I can now hit Select All, go up to a preset, and choose, let's go with Sepia Tone. Now, every single image that was in that folder is set to be a sepia tone. And I can choose to save all those if I like by using the save command after hitting select all. Let's say I finish doing it through each one of those presets, so Beth gets all of her pictures in sepia tone, warm tone, cool tone, neutral black and white. I can go back to apply presets and do black and white reset, and now they're all color images again. And that concludes how to use the preset tools in Adobe Camera Raw. I hope you found the workflow. This will help improve your workflow and that you found it interesting. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. You can find my email on my website, which is www.chophoto.com. That's CHOPHOTO.com. Thanks. Have a nice day. No,